My pleasure to welcome back to stage. Please welcome writer-director Chris Kelly. And I think Molly Shannon still here. I know she didn't want to come up, but also want to acknowledge Naomi Scott, producers here in the audience.
Yes.
Yes. So I'll start by asking about the title. And the title can mean many things. Did you have that title from the beginning? And then if you had, well, first answer that.
I didn't have the title when I wrote it. But then I was trying to think of a title, and as soon as it popped into my brain, I knew that's what I wanted to call it. It sounds so pretentious to describe why I chose that, but to me, I liked it because it worked in 3 different ways. From my brain, working and writing and directing the script, the first way I wanted it to be that first scene of this woman calling and kind of being annoying and ordering a burrito at the wrong time, and then cutting to the title so that the first time you hear other people, it's sort of oh, they're people, am I right? And then there's this idea, later on in the movie, of this kind of stuff only happens to other people, which isn't the case. So that interested me. And then I like towards the end when the sister's other people are sad too. And then that sort of ends up being, I guess, what it's about, is that he's looking for this moment. He's trying to figure out what he's supposed to learn from this shitty experience, and it's just to pay attention to his sister. So I like the idea of treating other people as a joke, or they're annoying, or not paying attention to them, and then having it kind of matter. So.
Did the meaning of that change for you at all from the when you had the idea for the title to actually seeing the completed film, or is it now you really have those 3 distinct?
I guess I wouldn't have necessarily been able to articulate it as much at first. I knew that was important to me and interesting to me, but I think seeing it come together, and the more I talk about it and think about it and watch it, the more it's become clear to me, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
And then my second question is about sort of your directing styles. Your first time as sort of directing a feature film, you work a lot in comedy and improv and sort of that where it can be much more in the moment.
Yeah.
How is this different for you? Was it a much different process, and did you approach it from a different way, or did you use that experience to create sort of your direction?
Yeah. I guess it was just different right out the gate in terms of I come from SNL. And other things, but SNL is so fast-paced, and it's so, you just don't have time to really think about it. You know what I mean? You write it, you make it, and it's on the air within a matter of days. And so this was just, I had more time, and for good and for bad. You know what I mean? To overthink and worry, but then you really could take the time to get it right. I'm trying to think. I'd never directed a film before, and so I just looked to other directors and other films that I liked, and I thought, what do I like about these movies? And some of the things I liked were just not a heavy score. Just I really wanted a specific tone of comedy and drama, and a scene that was really funny, hopefully jarringly cutting to something very sad, and vice versa. And so I kind of just, in preparation, just watched a bunch of movies that I liked, and kind of, I guess, talked with my DP and editor and different people about what the tone I was going for. But then also in the casting, I mean, we had such a crazy good cast that I really wanted comedians. For the large part, I wanted comedians playing drama, which I always like when I watch movies myself. I think it's always fun and surprising and wonderful to see someone that's specifically mostly known for doing comedy do something so different. And I think that helped the tone of the movie. So.
And one last thing for both of you. You've both seen this film with audience before, but you watched it again tonight here at the Egyptian Theater.
Yeah.
How was that? Did you what was that experience like? In terms
You're
of,
asking why did we watch it again?
Why did you watch it again? Or
I
what was
gave
the
what the
experience
question
like
is.
here? It's in terms of.
I watched it again just because it's still like new to me. I'm still like, this is so weird that I even get to do this. So this is like my first movie. So every time I'm still like, wow, everyone's here to watch this. Like, this is great. So I'm just like, curious to see like what plays and what doesn't. And I don't know. It's cool.
How about for you?
Oh, well, it's just great. I love sitting next to Chris and Naomi. I sat between them. So I just really enjoyed watching it. And yeah, it's really interesting to hear the audience's response. But I really just enjoyed watching it. Yeah.
It's a great place to see a movie too.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Yeah.
So with that, I'm going to segue to the audience and see if they have any other questions. And if they don't, I'll ask something else.
Okay.
If you don't have good questions, I'll ask something else. There's someone over here. Go ahead. Yes.
Similar to the thing with the title,
Uh-huh.
the perception of it changes from comic to serious over the course of the movie. You were maybe intentionally doing the same thing with the train song
Uh-huh.
that plays throughout the movie. And I was just wondering, like, was that just a specific song in the script, or did you just land on that?
No, that specific song was in the script. Yeah, that Drops of Jupiter. I felt so bad because like early on we were trying to be like, well, what do we do if they don't let us? Like, are there backup songs? And I was like, with all due respect, there is not a backup song. And I was just so, I don't know, it was like so in my head, and it was the perfect amount of like, you hear it all the time on like soft rock stations when you go home. It just is such that knee-jerk song. But then I experienced it where it's like, if you go into listening to it and you want to be like, this is funny, it's like kind of written off or whatever, but if you want to go into it and be like, this is beautiful, you can get that too. It has like pretty lyrics. I don't know, I like that it worked both ways, and I really wanted that song to be sort of like a stand-in for Sacramento and for some of the things that he kind of shits on about his hometown that play as a joke that then that's played more sincerely at the end. But yeah, that song, Day One, baby. Yeah.
And obviously you got the rights to it.
No, we didn't get the rights, so do not tell them. No. They said yes. They were very, very nice. They were so sweet. Like they were like fans of the script, I guess, and are very supportive. So thank you, Train. Yeah. Yeah.
How about someone in the middle? Is there anyone in the middle? And yes, in the center. Yes, go ahead.
I don't know.
That's a $1 million question, or the $1,000.
I mean, I'm guessing
or
it's
$1
different every
question.
time. I don't know. I mean, the short answer is that my producers, Adam and Naomi Scott, were basically like, we will help make this for you. And then the day that they were like, we'll do this, then it became something that could actually ever be made. You know, so like it's basically they made the movie, so that's the short answer. But yeah, it's basically like we started working with producers, and then maybe it's different for different movies, but my experience was we just slowly but surely started reaching out to cast, and I sort of made a dream list of people that I would love to work with, and Molly was the person that I was like, I mean, I guess I would love Molly Shannon to be in it. I don't know if she would, but I mean, that's like my dream. And then people like her, yeah, she kind of said this earlier, but she read the script, and then my managers were like, she'll be calling you soon. And then I got another email being like, I think it might be in a minute or two. And then I was just like waiting by the phone holding it, and then I was like, hello, like just so calm. And it was just like so like fast and easy, and it was so nice, and it was so lovely, and that worked, with Jesse, and we just kind of started adding cast, and it just kind of, it was like nothing happened, and then we got producers, and then slowly but surely it just started happening faster and faster, and then we were shooting, and now we're here. I don't know.
How long did you actually work on the script? Was that a long process, or was it?
I wrote it the first summer off from SNL, so like maybe 4 summers ago, I wrote the first kind of crappy draft over like one summer, just so it would exist. And then over the next season, whenever I had off time, I would sort of just punch it up or kind of change some scenes around or and kind of polish it. And then it just kind of sat there for a couple of years before we started actually making it happen. But yeah.
And how did you get involved with Naomi and Adam to produce it? What was that? Was that over dinner, or what was the?
Well, it was first over a Skype. I think first and foremost it was over a Skype. We have mutual agents, and I think that our agents were both like, oh, I think you guys will like each other, like professionally, and you guys have similar sensibilities, but also as people. And so we met, and then we would have breakfast and just start talking about it, and I don't know, it just felt right, I think, hopefully for both of us, so we just did it. Yeah.
Molly, what was the best thing about working with Chris?
Oh,
And maybe
God.
and the worst?
He is the nicest person. He makes me laugh so hard. He's so kind, and he just has such a big heart, and he's really funny. He's the greatest. He made work so fun and easy, and then he's just like this amazing writer, and so funny on top of that. So words cannot express how much I adore Chris.
Oh,
We went and had coffee, and we just talked for hours the first time we met. Like hours, I remember.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh my God, that went so fast.
Yeah.
So we just had a natural, easy chemistry, and I think he's the greatest.
That's very nice. And I will say, not to compliment her, but it's weird because this is a sort of loosely autobiographical movie. It's not like verbatim like what happened, but it was tricky kind of entering into something like that. I wrote it, and then I was like, oh, this will never get made. But then when I started to direct it, it's just tricky to like direct your own script, let alone your own script that's based on your life. And there's so many like traps involved, you know what I mean? You don't want to be too precious about like, well, he was sitting in this chair, so we got to have him sit in this chair in this scene. Like, so you have to like realize you're making a movie, you're not making a documentary. But at the same time, that being said, you're casting your mother, you know what I mean? You can say that you're not all you want, but you're casting, and so I don't need the actors to look exactly like so-and-so, but you want to like capture something, and it was a very surreal and like best case scenario to like cast someone like Molly and Jesse and so many of the other people, because I'm not saying that they're exactly 100% like my family members, but Molly brought such a life, and my mom was just like really funny and like a smart ass and strong, and it was like very fulfilling to be on set and be like, I don't need to make a documentary about my mom, but be like, oh damn, I love that, I can see her in it. And like they were just so caring about the roles, and I don't know, we were like, this is a weird situation, we're playing you and your mom and your family, and it was just really lovely to. I was just nervous about it, and it was just lovely, and they were so caring, and it was great. Yeah.
Was that a lot of stress on you, Molly, that you were playing his mom?
You know what? One of the best things Chris did was I got to talk to her really good friend, one of her best friends.
Yeah.
And we talked for hours too on the phone, and that was like the best thing I could have done, because I really had such a strong sense of her, and I was like, oh my God, we'd be girlfriends. We would want to go out tonight for a glass of wine, and we would crack up. I felt like I knew her through her best friend, and it was just, and then pictures, and then Chris had written a lot about her, so, but that was the best thing, being able to get on the phone.
Yeah, and it was fun too, because again, like I was saying, it wasn't exactly like how it happened or anything, but it still felt like a family affair. So like the mom's friend that she's talking about, like in the classroom scene, like 3 or 4 of them are my mom's best friends that she taught with and stuff. So the choir are my mom's friends. So it was nice to have it feel like they were there without it. Yeah, I don't know. It was cool. Yeah.
Did that, answering machine incident actually happen?
No, thank God, no. No, that was sort of I just wanted the movie to start tonally. I just wanted the first scene to tell you like what you were in for, you know what I mean? Sort of like a real sad moment undercut with some dark comedy. But that was just sort of based on, my mom would do that actually. Like she would call us and be like, how's it going? And we'd be like, good. And she's like, just 1 second. And then she'd order in the drive-thru. And it would be like, you called me. Like you were like, now's the time to call. And so then you'd sit there and it'd just be like minutes and minutes. And we're like, what are you doing, woman? So yeah. So then I just got her back by putting it over that scene. I don't know. No, I don't know. No.
That makes perfect sense. A few more questions out there. There was one over here. Yes.
Okay, about the park scene in the neighborhood, this is sort of a two-part question.
Yeah.
But, I noticed, the houses weren't built at the end, they were built.
Uh-huh.
So I was wondering, did you shoot that, or was it just happening as you were shooting?
Uh-huh.
How long did it take?
So a question about the park scene, and part of it, there was the houses were being built, and then they were built, and then how long did it take you a while to shoot that, or was that?
No, we shot that all in one day, and the houses were there, and then we just had a great visual effects guy, and who took them away. It was great. He was amazing. So so the houses were there, and then we just did a locked off shot, and then he took them away and then made them half built. So yeah, it was amazing. No,
it was the magic of the movies.
It was magic. Yeah, he made it look great, and yeah.
This is a low budget film, right?
That
yes.
shot was $10 million.
Yeah.
So.
Right here.
You had mentioned in a previous Q&A, comedy, you don't get so far into the character where you make people call you that character's name and just get like it consumes you. But with a role like this, it's very dark and sad, and funny at the same time. Is that a harder character to get into or even to get out of?
So the question is about the character in this in a more serious role versus in your comedy. Was it a harder role to get into, and did you have a hard time getting out of it?
It definitely was hard to get into, like especially the scene at the very end. I just wanted to do a really good job. So Chris would help me a lot because I would say, it was hard when she became weak and it was harder for her to speak. And I've never done anything like this in my life, so I was definitely worried and I wanted to do a really good job. But Chris really guided me. But yes, it is hard to get into. And I would say the last scene when I'm talking to my son and I'm just so weak and I feel embarrassed that I fell and that he saw me, but I have all these things I want to tell him. I mean, that is a hard scene, and I've never done anything like that before where I'm leaning on someone and so not able to use my body at all. Like I'm just so physically dependent on him actually holding me up. Yes, it was really hard, but I just trusted, you have to trust your director, and I just trusted Chris, but I definitely was worried, like, oh God, I hope that was okay, yeah. Thanks for the question.
Yeah.
In the middle, in the back, in the middle, yes.
Has your family had a chance to see the movie?
Yeah, most of them. I have 2 cousins who are here in the audience tonight seeing it for the first time, which is great. And then I have, like some of them have seen it because it's only, we've been at like 3 or 4 festivals, but it hasn't like come out yet. So like my sisters were there at Sundance on opening night and a lot of my mom's friends and stuff. So yeah, everyone's okay with it. Everyone's good. It was good. But yeah, it was weird, but not in a bad way. Just like I'm sure it is a weird, I can't imagine to be like my sisters. I mean, it's obviously like very lovely towards them and it's, it's nice, but just to see that thing that you went through played out from somebody else's point of view must be so bizarre. But yeah, they were there at Sundance. It was cool.
I was just going to say, the amazing thing about Chris, one story that I love too that you told was when the character of Justin, when he auditioned and originally was something else, but then you switched it based on him.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's the best story.
Oh, yeah,
this is what makes Chris amazing.
I mean, how have we not had a question about this Justin kid? But he was truly, so yes, I mean, right?
So let's talk about that.
No. Yeah, we have a question about Justin, and we're going to answer it. God, we wish he was here. He would handle this Q&A by himself. No, but yeah, I'll talk about him. He was great. That was just an example of, it was sort of loosely based on a kid that I knew, and like an adopted kid, and it was written one way, and then we just were struggling to find, I wanted to find like an authentically, like a confident, like, I just wanted someone who was like 12 and just like knew who he was. And I didn't want like a child actor to be playing something. And we held auditions and we weren't finding the right person. And this kid, JJ Toda, came in 20 minutes late. And he was like, I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm doing a massive redeck on my house. And he was like putting Carrara marble up. Yeah, he was putting Carrara marble up, like, and he was like helping his mother redecorate the house. And he was just like, I didn't know what Carrera was, and he was explaining it to me. And so, like, immediately it was pretty clear. My producers and casting people were like, we know this is the one that we're going with. And so we just started, like, transcribing it, and we went out to breakfast, and I'd be, like, asking him any question and any answer I wrote down. And most of the script that he does, the dance was already in there, obviously, but, like, all his likes and dislikes, and just, like, his energy, just the, like, hug me was, like, him. Just, like... It was like the scene was ending and the actors were leaving and his instinct was to be like, hug me. Like, you're just like, it was just, he's so talented and great.
But I want to say, as an actress, I've never worked with like a director that has the ability to do that, to like write for someone's abilities and put that in and have this killer scene. There's very few people that know how to do that.
But it was fun too, because like you guys all, like, you hadn't worked with him, right? So it was fun because I guess that's how it always is on movies, but I've never experienced it before. But like at Sundance, you all were seeing it for the first time, and some of them were meeting each other for like, they didn't have the same scene. So it was cool to watch you guys, I guess, watch each other as fans. I don't know. It was cool.
That was a great character. Time for maybe a few more, and then over here, yes, on the side, yes. Go ahead. Do you have another script in the works if you didn't hear that?
I don't know what to say. Yeah, something like a TV script, something. That's the next thing I'm working on, but I don't know.
Will you make another film?
Yes, I would like to. I really liked everything about it. Especially, I really loved working with the actors. It was just like I felt like I was in a different world. Like I come from a comedy world, and it felt so weird. I was like, these are real actors. This is like a real movie. This is like, who's letting me do this? So it was just like a very cool, different thing that I'd never experienced before, and it really made me be like, oh, I like this, and I maybe like this as much or more than what I've been doing. So yeah, I definitely want to do more of it.
There's another one over here too. I know they're pointing. Yes.
Going back to the thing about having comedic actors doing drama, did you have any sense during the on-set direction that the energy would flow in unexpected ways because of the mix of the drama and the comedy actors?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like the script was sort of written in some ways on purpose like that. Like a scene would end on a joke and then just cut to interior hospital. She's crying. You know, like I structured it because I knew I wanted purposely those hard cuts from comedy to drama. But the good thing about what the comedy actors like Molly would do was like in the scene where you're getting high and stuff, we could shoot it on script and then also just do some wild takes where Molly would just. It was great. We just watched as fans and she did like a one-woman show for us. And it's so sad. Like I just wish after the credits it was just 45 minutes of just the raw material of her being high because it was so funny and so good. And so that's kind of where it came in, is like it allowed like the tone I already kind of knew that I wanted to go from comedy to drama and stuff like that. But the ability to have actors who have like an improvisational background and are funny, they could like change the lines in a way that made it feel right to them, and they could like improvise in character in ways that just made it feel funny, but not like a joke funny, but like funny for the character. You know, you don't want like a joke that it's like, oh, the writer made a punchline. You want it to feel like the comedy's coming from like the character's opinions and emotions. And so I think that's what was so nice about having a comedic cast.
So you did actually do some that, like you did it straight for like a safety, and then you did it sort of go wild, or was it just a natural process within each?
Yeah, or
take?
like what do we do for the high scene? I think we'd be like, you knew what the script was, and you knew you had to get to some points, but sometimes you'd be like, I'm gonna take 10 minutes to get to this next line, and you would just like, and it was great. It was so funny. It was so great.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you could play within it a little bit, but
Yeah.
then, the scene still has to move along. It has these set points, but
Yeah.
Chris would let us play around
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
So it's like some scenes are kind of like verbatim from the script, and then some are looser. It kind of just depended, you know.
Okay, is there anyone way far in the back? Well, in the middle, in the back, yes.
Oh
my God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That is the nicest question. Oh my God. Well, yes. No, but that is the sweetest question ever. Thank you. I'll be like, I'm a superstar.
That's the whole speech.
In the red, yes. Go ahead.
That is a very good question too. So was I self-conscious about showing my half-naked body? Yes, I was, but that was not my body. They brought in.
It was mine. No.
Yeah, they brought in a body double, and I think they showed. No, I didn't get to approve. Naomi saw her, but I remember there were like some people on set that were like, "You look younger than her," and I know, right? Yeah. So now when I look at that ass, I'm like, my ass is better than that. No, but I do not mind that at all, because I feel like that's part of the work, and I thought it was just part of the work, so I think nothing of it, I love my body double. I like that I didn't have to do it.
Maybe a good last question before, over here, yes.
So now knowing that this is autobiographical for you, and for you, Molly, having 2 kids of your own and having lost your mom, was it emotional doing it and sort of cathartic for you at all, or were you able to really separate those things?
Oh, that's such a great question. Having lost my mom, was it emotional for me or cathartic? Yes, it was so cathartic. And my favorite, my favorite moment in the movie is when she says she gets to see her whole world at dinner tonight. I was just like, that is exactly personally how I feel. And then her advice in the end to just, see your sisters, and she doesn't want her son and her daughters to forget about her. And she says, you can look in the faces of your sisters and you can see me. I mean, oh my God, it's just the most deeply touching. And every time I see it, I cry. And I think about my own mother and my father and my family. And yes, it's cathartic every time I see it. I deeply relate to it, and I just felt so lucky that I got to say those lines so much that when my favorite line was being shot, I was like, "Where is the camera?" I was like, "It's over." I wanted to deliver that line to full effect.
She said that line in every scene, even when it wasn't in the scene. She'd still turn and just say it.
Well, I think after almost 4 hours, we probably should wrap after our Church of Film experience. But thank you so much,
Thank you guys
Chris.
for coming.
Thank you, Molly.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you very
wonderful.
much.
Thank you. And the film is being released, correct? Vertical
Yes.
Entertainment.
Yes.
The film is coming out in theaters by Vertical Entertainment.
Yes, it'll be out in the fall.
In the fall.
Yes,
So
yes.
thanks. Tell your friends.
Thank you guys very
And
much.
thank you. You've been a great audience.
Thank you very much for doing this.